Okay, so I'll make one more. So the year that I moved out of Delaware was my summer before my 10th grade year. So I was 15 years old. We were all doing our paper routes. I was sick and tired of my stepmother and her bullshit. And I was always having to do things that I didn't feel were my job. And like with paper routes, because like, you know, my stepsister had one and it doesn't matter. Anyhow, she would always, a lot of times she'd sit up front and they'd make me throw her papers and me and my brother throw her papers. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not doing all this. I'm not. She's, you know, like, no, it's not fair. And I lost my shit. Like, that's one thing I can tell you about me. I can take it for so long. But when I get to my point, like, dude, I lost it. Like, I lost it. And I think there have only been like 3 times in my life where I have lost it to this point so badly, like so badly. I refused to do what she told me to do. I was not doing it anymore. I was sick of all of the verbal abuse. I was sick of all of the physical attacks on my body, on my looks, on everything. I had it up to fucking here. I repeatedly told my father that this was going on. I honestly can't remember what he would say to me, but I think it was more like a, okay. I think sometimes he thought I was nuts. I tried everything in my power. I roared like a siren in that house to try to send the alarms out that things weren't right. And my dad would not listen. Like he couldn't hear me. He couldn't. My dad had he had a stressful career, he had a lot of stuff going on, and my mom always took care of us. And this was something that he did not know how to do, and he did not know what to do. And that one morning over a fucking paper route, I beat the shit out of my stepmother in the front yard on the little sidewalk in front of the house. And I think it was my brother or somebody went upstairs to get my father. And I really think he had to pull me off of her. I went nuts. I called my mom. I forgot to tell you this part. Maybe like a year and a half before this, my mom and her husband had moved up to Pennsylvania. And I was very upset when they were moving up here, when I got the phone call that they were moving up here, because when I moved to Delaware, in some ways life became much harder, but in other ways life became much easier. And it was because my mom wasn't around. She wasn't trying to see us. So things in that area calmed down a bit. But in the abuse area, I think got even like crazier in other ways. So when my mom called to let me know that she was moving up to Pennsylvania, inside I was really happy that she was, but I didn't behave that way. And when I didn't behave that way, she said to me, well, we're not moving up because of you guys. We're moving up to be near my parents. And I just remember that was like a stake through my heart. Granted, I deserved to hear that at that point because I think I was a complete like bitch when she told me she was moving up here. But the day that, that all went down in Delaware with my stepmother, I called my mom and I said, that's it, I'm moving in. So my mom was thrilled to death. She had wanted me to move in for years. So she came and picked me up and I packed everything up. And I really, I swear it seems this way to me. I feel like I didn't even like tell people I was leaving, you know? Like some of my really good friends in Delaware, they might have known maybe like the day that I was leaving. There was a girl down there in Delaware that she was in the same situation as me, living with her dad and an awful stepmother. I'd love to get in touch with her again. I don't know where she ended up, what ended up happening with her. Her and I became buddies. But I can tell you what, leaving Delaware was the smartest choice I ever made. I was on a wrong path down there. I think I would have probably dove into God knows what. I was doing shit I should have never done at that age. I moved to Pennsylvania, and I know my mom doesn't believe this, but I behaved a lot better here, in Pennsylvania than I did in Delaware. Moved to Pennsylvania, move in with my mom and my stepfather. Now, keep in mind, when my mom married my stepfather, and I could be wrong on the age here, but I do believe that he was maybe 25 when they got married, 24, I don't know. He was really young. So my mom was like, I don't know, 10 years older than him or something like that. And so he was like this cool, WKRP in Cincinnati type of guy. He was. His friends drove El Caminos. He was cool. He had a motorcycle. We really liked him. But he was kind of still a kid, right? So at this point, I'm older, a few years older. So what is he? I don't know. And early, 30s. I don't know. And I move in with them. And I'm just about ready to turn 16. So I'm a joy, I move in with them. And, I just feel like I don't have a home anymore. You know what I mean? I'm so out of sorts. So I move in there and I'm hoping that I can just find peace, right? And the first night, or maybe not the first night, it might have been a few nights in there. My mom and I were sitting in the living room and we were talking, and he just came in and he just kind of got up in a huff and went back into the bedroom and shut the door. And he did this for a few nights in a row. And I said to my mom, I said, what's the matter with him? And she said, oh, he's just jealous that we're talking. So that began. Living with him. Oh my God. It was a whole other type of something else. So it was living with someone that had never had a child, right? Never, ever had a child. Never. Had no love for a child like a parent would have for a child. But thought they knew exactly what to do with a 15-year-old girl. Again, I love this guy. I do. Had a lot of fun with him. I know it sounds crazy, right? But I did. He was also fun. But I'm not quite sure exactly what the deal was, but he had to have been jealous of us in some sort of way. It's just weird stuff with him. I've always been weird with meat, eating food. I've been always very, very picky with that. If I wouldn't eat, he would kick me really, really hard in my shins under the table if I wouldn't eat. When he found out that I was on the birth control pill, he came. Now I was 16 and I had a boyfriend. He came into my bedroom and he had built me a waterbed, so he was nice in that way. So I was lying in my waterbed, dead asleep. He came into my bedroom with a big bucket of ice water and dumped it over my whole body while I was in bed, and I was not allowed to get out of the bed for the rest of the night. So I had to stay in that bed all night long, and it was really cold. It was really cold. Because I just felt like the waterbed was sucking all the heat out of my body. I had ice on me. I wasn't allowed to get up. He was just, I don't know if I want to say he was mean, but he could be mean.